Hello, welcome to the Quicksilver Adventuring Company. Today I want to go over a house rule that we use for casters, which involves spell points. We'd been using this for, I think I came up with this about 4 or 5 years ago, and then a couple years into it, a friend of mine pointed out that this is actually an optional rule already in the Dungeon Master Guide. What I came up with is slightly different, and I think mine's not quite as clunky. I just don't find that the one in the DMG is quite as streamlined, but I'll go over what I made now, and then y'all can make your own decision. One thing that made me want to do this system is that I've always had a little bit of an issue with the fact that a high level caster only has the ability to cast like one level 9 spell, but they have all of these other spell slots and they still can't cast that level 9 spell again. I get that it's a very high level spell and that it can be game impacting, but so can a lot of things. And so I like to think of a magic user's spell slots as more of a spell pool to pull from. And that's where I came up with the spell slot idea. It was like a way to try to mimic that pool of power that the caster has at their disposal. The way that mine works is that each spell for each level costs 1 spell point. So if a level 1 spell would cost 1 spell point, level 2 would cost 2, and so on up to 9. A ninth level spell would cost 9 spell points. And so when you cast that spell, that's how many are used in the casting. In addition, some spells can be cast at higher levels. So if a level 1 spell is cast at level 2, then it takes 2 spell points. If it's cast at level 3, it costs 3 spell points. Essentially, the slot required for the caster, if it's a level 4 slot is being used, it's also 4 spell points. So you can think of it that way. When it comes to calculating how many spell points you have, I actually created a chart for primary casters, secondary casters, primary being like wizards, clerics, druids, sorcerers, secondary being paladins, rangers. And then there's also a third category for like eldritch knights and then arcane tricksters, classes like that. And then there's a fourth one for warlocks. Get ready for some math. I'm going to go ahead and work out some low level, how I calculate the spell points, but I'm going to do one level 17 example. And there's probably going to be a good minute and a half of just me going over numbers. So yeah, if you find that a little boring, feel free to skip ahead to some explanations that I have. But yeah, just prepping you that it's going to be a little bit of that in the middle. What I did to create this chart is I just took the actual spell slots allotted to character by level, allotted those each to the point value of the slot, and then added them together. So for example, let's just take a level 1 character. Has 2 level 1 spell slots, and then you take that times the number of slots. So 2 level 1s is 2 times 1 is 2 spell points from that. Whereas a level 2 character will have 3 level 1 slots, so 3 times 1 is 3 spell points total for that level character. Let's move on to an example of the level 5 character. Those have 4 level 1 slots, 3 level 2 slots, and 2 level 3 slots. So the 4 level 1 slots is going to be 4 times 1 is 4 spell points. The 3 level 2 slots is 3 times 2 is 6 spell points. So that's a total of 10. Then the 2 level 3 slots is again 2 times 3 is 6. So that's 6 spell points on top of the 10. So 16 total spell points for a level 5 primary caster. Let's take this math up to a higher level caster. Let's go with a level 17 primary caster who has 4 level 1s, 3 level 2s, 3 level 3s, 3 level 4s, 2 level 5s, 1 level 6, 1 level 7, 1 level 8, and 1 level 9 spell slots. The math then becomes you have 4 spell slots at level 1, so 4 times 1 is 4 spell points. Then you have 3 level 2 slots, so that's 3 times 2 becomes 6 spell points for a total of 10 spell points. Then at level 3, you have 3 spell slots. So 3 times 3 is 9. That takes you up to 9 spell points. And a total of level 4, you have 3 level 4 spell slots. So that's 12 spell points. On level 5, you have 2 spell slots. So that's another 10 spell points, which now for level 6, it's only 1 spell slot, so you have another 6 spell points on. Then at level 7, you have 1 spell slot, so that's another 7 spell points. Then level 8, you have 1 spell slot, so another 8 spell points. And then at level 9, you have 1 level 9 spell slot, so that's another 9 spell points, which gets you up to 71 total spell points for a level 17 primary caster. The same formula is used for all the other caster types. So I already have all that worked out in the chart. So you can do the math on the back end if you want, but the chart's pre-made for you and it is, again, posted in the description. There are a few things that I found to be beneficial from this. It actually adds an element of surprise to the game because the players aren't always sure what someone could be casting. Because once somebody casts a level, like let's say a high level spell, like a 7, 8, or a 9, there's so limited number of slots typically, they know once it's been cast, they're not going to cast it again. But in this case, there's more surprise because they could be down to the wire and have 10 spell points left and still be able to cast anything in their repertoire. And so as I love that element to the game with the players, but also in terms of like game balance, haven't had an issue with it because this is available to the players, but it's also available to their enemies and any other NPCs they run into, anyone within the game has the same spell points instead of slots. The only caveat to that is creatures that actually happen to have some magical abilities that aren't necessarily casters. So with those, I still leave as their innate abilities and uses per day and actually not a spell point pool. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Feel free to use it in your games and I think you'll enjoy it. But thank you for watching and feel free to hit that like button if you liked it and subscribe to the channel. I'll have more information coming. Thanks.